Hi, grade twos. So now that you've learned a little bit more about the Beatitudes and looked at the first couple slides in religion today, we're going to look at the first three Beatitudes you see in your screen a little deeper now. Okay, so they could be a little bit confusing, even for adults. The Beatitudes can be confusing. So we're just going to go through them one by one. And today we're just going to go through three and talk about it. Okay, so let's read the first Beatitude together, the one that's highlighted on your screen. Are you ready? Let's go. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So, grade twos, what do you think poor in spirit might mean? Do you think you can talk about that with a grown up or someone who's around you? You can pause the video and talk about it with them now. So, poor in spirit means to trust in God to provide what we need. When we know that we need God more than the things in our lives, we are being poor in spirit. Being poor in spirit means wanting to do God's will. Jesus wants us to know that trusting in God is the way that leads to being with God in heaven. So, grade twos, can you think of any people who do not worry about how many things they have and are still happy? They trust in God more than they trust in things. So, a lot of the saints that we learn about, they have this. They are poor in spirit. They do not worry about the things they have, they just trust in God. Okay? So, that's what being poor in spirit means. Let's read the next one together. Ready? Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Let's read that again. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Look at the word mourn. Okay, mourn right here. Look at that word. What do you think that word might mean? So, grade twos, mourning is something we do when we are sad because we have lost someone or something. We can also mourn or be sad over our own sin and the sin of others. When we are sad, Jesus wants us to know that He can help us if we talk to Him about our sadness. Let's look at the word comfort. Okay, right here, comfort. What do you think that means? So, comfort means making someone feel better again. Jesus also wants us to notice when other people are sad. In this beatitude, Jesus tells us we should care when other people are sad or unhappy. Can you think of a time when other people are sad or unhappy? Talk about that with a grown up right now. Give examples. Can you think of times when other people are sad or unhappy? What can you do to help comfort people who you see that are sad? How can helping people who are sad make us truly happy? Hmm. Okay, now let's look at the third one. Let's read it together. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Look at that word meek, okay, right here. What might that mean? When the word meek means being gentle and humble. If people are meek, they do not brag. Do you know what bragging is? And being like, look at me, I'm the best. I scored all these goals, or I got 100% on my test. That's bragging. Okay? What have you heard people brag about before? Have you ever heard anyone brag? Maybe you've bragged. I know I have. Remember that it takes courage to be meek. So, not to brag, it takes courage to be meek. It takes courage to do the things that God wants us to do instead of the things that we might like to do or the things that others are doing. So, God gave us each special gifts and talents that He wants us to use. For example, if you're a good runner, God wants you to try your hardest to win the race. But when you have won the race, how do you think He wants you to treat the people who did not win? So, grade twos, how do you think we can be happy if we do not brag about the things we can do? All right, grade twos, thank you so much for learning about these three